Hey everyone, COE33 here. Welcome to the upstairs game room, the retro room. And guys, it's game day. Oh boy, big day today. Arcade cabinet being delivered. I'm waiting for delivery right now. So if you follow the channel, you know that over here in the arcade nook in my game room, I used to have a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade 1-up that I modded with a Raspberry Pi, and that's what used to live here. And I was like, well, I like this, but I think I could do better. It's time to upgrade. And over the years, I've watched you guys on YouTube with your really nice kind of larger 4-player emulation builds, your arcade cab builds, and I was like, it's time. So what I did is I ordered a Game Room Solutions 43-inch 4-player arcade cabinet kit, and that's being delivered today, as I said. And it's going to have custom graphics that I designed. The theme is aliens. So I went in Photoshop, I designed some aliens artwork, and it's kind of my own take on it. It's not directly from any of the games or movies. It's just a custom design revolved around one of my all-time favorite franchises. Actually, frankly, it's probably my favorite. I think if like one movie that I put at the top, it's probably Aliens, and then I love Alien as well, of course, both classics of the genre. And I can't wait to see it here because, so I designed the artwork here on this virtual pinball machine, and I always liked how that came out with the Jurassic Park, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this Aliens artwork on this 4-player arcade cab. Okay, so I'm gonna basically take you along on the journey. It's not gonna be a full build video. I'm not gonna show you every moment of the build, but I am gonna take you along on the highlights. And why don't we start with where I'm at in the project right now. Okay, so I picked up this monitor on Amazon. It's a Samsung 4K 43-inch QLED. It's the Q60, I believe, and it's a beautiful monitor. So I'm glad I didn't skimp on the monitor because the picture quality with these QLEDs is really nice. So yeah, and hopefully it fits perfectly and all that. I'm using a mini PC for the build. This is the B-Link SER5 mini PC, and I'll put links to all this stuff in the description just in case you guys want to take a look at that. And I picked that up on Amazon as well, and it works perfect with the front end that I'm using. So I've used a lot of different front ends over the years, and this time I went with COINOPS. This is the first time ever using COINOPS, and I couldn't be happier with it. It's the nicest looking front end I think I've ever used over the years, and I think it's a nice upgrade over like a Raspberry Pi or even a Hyperspin build. Just the fidelity on the graphical, kind of the beauty of it is really impressive, and it's a curated collection. So, COINOPS isn't about having 100,000 games. It's about having a smaller selection of games that have been curated so that each game looks great, plays great, and is going to be a banger. So really excited about that. And then as far as controls, as I said, it's a 4-player cabinet, and it's all Sanwa joysticks. So it's going to be four 8-way Sanwa joysticks with bat tops. There's going to be one 4-way Sanwa joystick, LED buttons, chrome T molding. There's going to be a spinner, a trackball, and yeah, it's going to be a dream machine, guys. I'm really excited. So I've got the game room all cleared out here. I made some room over here. I moved my tables and put some, basic tools there, and just give myself some space to build today. So as of now, I'm just waiting for the delivery, and when that happens, I'll give you guys an update. It's the next day, and everything arrived, and oh boy, what a project, guys. There's Miguel, by the way. What's up, Miguel? So it arrived in 3 packages that were extremely heavy, and I almost didn't accept delivery because the packages were beat up really bad. But I had the FedEx guy wait, and I kind of rifled through them to see if everything looked all right. And it looked all right, and sure enough, every piece arrived safe and sound. So thank goodness, because that would have sucked. Of course, I didn't want to wait for replacement pieces to be sent and deal with that whole fiasco. But yeah, everything arrived in great shape, and credit to Game Room Solutions. The packing was really good. They used a lot of bubble wrap. Everything was sealed up real good, and no issues there. And you can see that the graphics turned out nice. So there's half of the side art, and then there's another half that goes on there. And then there's the control panel, the bezel, the marquee, and we got all the little pieces and a lot of the controls. and the kick plate and all kinds of fun stuff. So as you can see, this is going to be quite the project. And yeah, this is going to take a better part of the day probably. So I'm going to start building this thing, and then I'll update you guys when I have something to share. All right, and just like that, through the magic of editing, 3 days have passed since I last talked to you, and that's because, boy, did this take some doing. That was a lot of wiring. That was a big and heavy arcade cabinet. But good news is it's done. It's complete. It looks great. Couldn't be happier with it. And you know what? I think we should just go ahead and do the reveal. All right, and just like that, there it is. One complete Aliens arcade cabinet. What do you guys think? Do you like it? So it barely fits in this spot. I'm glad I measured twice before buying this. And I was like, okay, it's going to be close. But yeah, it fits. And everything works just like I would have hoped. So I'm very happy about that. You know, it took there were some struggles along the way to get everything working. But, you know, the trackball works great. The spinner. Oh, actually, the only thing that I don't have wired up right now is the 4-way arcade stick because I got to get a cable for it. But that's not a big deal. That's not an issue at all. The joysticks, the buttons, everything is great. The front end, boy, I love this front end. It's definitely the nicest front end I've ever used. And boy, you know, coming from a Retro Pi, Raspberry Pi setup where I have like 100,000 games, this is much more user-friendly because I think total, let's see, how many total games are on this? Total games, 711. So that may not sound like a lot, but it's honestly, it's perfect because you go in, they're all great games, you find a game you want, it plays great, it looks great, all the controls are mapped just the way you would want it. And from a user experience, and that's kind of the philosophy that I had going into the virtual pinball machine. I curated this to have 100 of my favorite tables, and then this has a little over 700 of the best arcade cabinets. And yeah, I like it quite a bit. COINOPS really did a great job with that front end. And then I went ahead and actually changed this from the B-roll that you guys saw. I actually swapped out a few of these items. I wanted to have a topper like I do on the Jurassic Park arcade cabinet. So I went ahead and took some of my favorite Alien stuff and put it up there. I think that looks good. And then I brought Sigourney from downstairs up here, and I moved the Street Fighter, the signed Street Fighter poster over there, and put this here because the Street Fighter poster was in this spot. But now I've got my signed Aliens little 8x10 there next to the Aliens cabinet, as it should be. And then I went with all green buttons, and then I went with the chrome T-molding. And definitely, you know, it's got a look with the chrome and the green, which I really like. I think it works well with the Aliens kind of design language. And then I've got kind of like this space motif. You can see that there's like this, you know, the fog of space and the stars. And then the Aliens, this is actually the Aliens Resurrection font that I really like quite a bit. And then, of course, you got the light-up marquee, so you got the LED lights behind there. And, yeah, you got the light-up trackball, which works great. And then this arcade, this is probably my favorite thing of the build, is this control panel. I really like the way this turned out. You have all the different alien species, and you got the Queen and the Praetorian, and the Warrior and the Drone. You have information about them and their strengths and weaknesses, and the face huggers, and everything from all the different species, chest bursters from Aliens. So I really like the way that came out. And, you know, I've got the Wayland Yutani logo on the bezel there. And then there's some subtle Easter eggs all over the spot. I wanted it to be subtle because I didn't want to be too like too in your face, but at the same time you can see like there's an alien right there, and I gave some opacity there, so it was kind of just like a fog of space, kind of very subtle, but it's there if you look for it. And then you have the egg, the alien egg, with that iconic kind of green crack with the smoke coming out from the first movie. That's from the poster. It's actually a hybrid of a later design of the egg, and then I went ahead and added this from the first Alien movie poster to it, and then you have the space kind of stars and the fog of space going on there. And then the side art turned out really good. Unfortunately, you can't really see it because, you know, it's in this nook, but that's okay. And yeah, it turned out great. So this is, you know, 4-player arcade cabinet. I will say the 4th player over here is a little cramped, so that's one negative, having it in a nook here. But everyone can still play. It's just that this person is kind of up against the wall here. And then there's cup holders, and I've got some admin buttons. This is Ultimark, a spinner, and Sanwa joysticks with the black bat tops. And yeah, the LED light up buttons and everything. I'll show you inside. You know, it's not probably the greatest cable management in the world or anything, but I did cable manage everything. I did my best, and I think actually it looks pretty good. Nice and tidy in here. It's not too bad, huh? I've seen worse and I've seen better. And yeah, that was quite the wiring project. Yeah, that took some doing. that was a whole day. That was one full day on a weekend. I'm waking up early and just plucking away at it. And I'm sure people that do this, you know, more frequently than I do could bust that out real quick, but it took me some time. And then I've got the, you know, the controllers for the LEDs, and I've got the amp for these speakers, and it sounds great. I was a little worried. I was thinking, well, I might have to upgrade the audio because I used the Game Room Solutions kit, and I spent, it was like $20 or whatever. It wasn't very much. Maybe it was more than that. I forget, for their little audio kit. I was thinking, I hope that's good, but it's great. That's perfect. And then my keyboard and mouse and stuff in case I need to edit and mess with stuff. And then there's a really handy hole in here because I can actually reach the power button on the little mini PC in there, which is good because getting this away from the wall is going to be quite the fiasco if I need to, so I'd rather not have to do that. I did put it on furniture sliders, and that rug, I had to lose the rug. So the red rug that was over here is gone. It didn't work with the arcade cabinet, but I did order some really nice bar stools, and yeah, the kind of like contemporary chrome and green bar stools to match this arcade cabinet, and there are 2 of them that are going to go right there in front, which is actually perfect because I needed more seating up here for when friends and family over here. Now we'll have the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5 spots for people to sit up here, which is much better than what we did have before that. And yeah, guys, what do you think? Do you like it? Custom little Aliens arcade cabinet. I love the big screen. I mean, I've been playing games on this and just having a blast. Leaf and I played all the way through Final Fight the other day. Let's see, let's go to favorites. There we go. And let's go down to Final Fight. Because what a classic arcade cabinet. There we go, look at that. You know, you fire it up. And I love the joysticks, the buttons, everything's really nice. And the borders that come along with COINOPS does a great job with all the kind of details. And being able to see the actual bezels from the arcade cabinet and all the different moves on each machine. And then it has the scan lines, and it looks like you're looking at a CRT, but it's, you know, a nice big 4K Samsung QLED. So it's a really cool look. And it's like playing these games for the first time sometimes. But Leaf and I sat up here last night, and we played all the way through Final Fight, and that was really fun. So yeah, this arcade wall is, I mean, I think it's done. You know, I say that sometimes, and then I get a wild hair and do something different. But look at that. I can play all the pinball games and play all my favorite arcade games. I've got the little mini arcade in the middle there. And yeah, a project well done, guys. And that's the end of the 43-inch arcade build from Game Room Solutions. Game Room Solutions really knocked it out of the park. Good communication. Good product, thick wood. I was really impressed with like the build quality. I mean, this is like serious heavy duty stuff, and it weighs a ton, but that's kind of what you want. And like the hinges that they included are really like heavy duty, and it works great. And the T-molding that they applied is perfect. And there were, honestly, let's see, what, oh, there was one issue, is that the LED lights on the marquee, they did not work. I had to go to Walmart and spend like $5 to get a strip of LEDs, so not a big deal. If there's going to be something to go wrong with a build like this, and if that's it, that's a home run. So yeah, I just ran down to Walmart, spent extra $5, and put some LEDs up there. And other than that, there's not a single like blemish on the machine. Everything arrived safe and sound. Everything works perfect. The instructions were okay. I think the instructions could have been a little bit better for putting it together. But it's pretty intuitive. If you can put together IKEA furniture, you could put together something like this. It's all a cam lock system. Other than it being heavy, that was kind of the big thing. It's like these pieces weigh a ton, and it was time consuming. It was heavy. Getting it all up here piece by piece was laborious. But yeah, that's okay. Worth it. Definitely worth it. All right, guys, and that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm posting new videos every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can count on that. And of course, there's a community Discord, the Dragon's Lair, where you can hang out when I'm not posting videos on YouTube. I'm live streaming on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday. I'd love to see you over there for all retro games on original hardware at COE33. Links in the description below. And that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.